Good Thursday morning, everyone. Hope you are getting up and getting at it. Hope you are enjoying your day so far. This is the morning update on our winter storm potential that is now likely for many areas. We're going to go over the overnight model guidance, talk about several models, and really talk about what is the latest and greatest information on this. I will mention really fast that the trends have went back and forth. The latest guidance has ticked back northwest, but yesterday evening it was more southeast. The more southeast you get, the more winter weather. And then this time yesterday, 24 hours ago, it was ticking northwest. So the models are going back and forth. So if you're watching this and it's 3 or 4 p.m., I know that the models have changed. So I want to mention that before I get going. If you guys have not subscribed, hit the subscribe button, like the video if you like it. My links are over here. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook. I stay very up to date. I'm trying to grow my Facebook up to 10,000 likes. So your support is definitely appreciated. I love you guys so much. The growth has been amazing. And thank y'all. Thank y'all for blessing me with a platform to talk about what I love, which is the weather. And if you guys got anything I can pray about, please put it in the comments below. It gives me an opportunity to pray for you. It gives others an opportunity to do so too. So let's get going. I've had a lot of people complain about my intro being too long. So I'm going to stick to my guns a little bit with that, but I will take a little bit of advice and try to speed it up for you guys because I know a lot of you just want to cut and dry information. But let's get going. The latest European rolling through here. We're going to kind of do the same format the last few videos have been, right? We're going to roll through all the major model guides. Stay tuned towards the end. We're going to talk about what's driving the trends to the storm system. I don't want to just come over here and just show you a bunch of model runs and then scoot on out. I try not to be like that. I try to talk about what's driving this and compare and contrast models and give my own thoughts on it. We're still just not quite there where we can start spitting out predicted totals, but we're almost there. Tomorrow, guys, is really going to be a big day. But here we go. Winter storm, pretty much all snow. Northern string dominant piece of energy, like I've been talking about, really works its way through the Midwest, portions of the Western Ohio Valley. But this dips very quickly into Missouri, a nice snow event for most of all Missouri. I'm still watching as this low pressure develops, an upper level low starts to form. This could start dropping some heavy snow overnight, well, really Saturday, as early as Saturday evening for areas of Arkansas. You keep moving this forward here. And yeah, so this is a big area question mark too. Is it just as much as this is with the cold air damming? Will there be some heavy snow in Kentucky and Tennessee? It's a big question mark here. It really is. But as you get into Sunday morning, as you can tell, European breaking out the ice over South Carolina. Sleet and snow in the upstate, northeast Georgia. The European, not showing so much of it as Atlanta right now. Alabama, I think y'all are going to be in just a whiff zone here. Good thing, though, if you want snow, as this thing's pulling away and areas are getting clobbered with an ice storm in North Carolina, South Carolina, as it's pulling away, I'm starting to see more of this on all models. Upper level low wraps in moisture behind this. And let me tell you, there's sometimes what you call a deformation band can form. And that's heavier precipitation on the backside of this low that wraps through after the main beef of this system moves in. This could drop a few inches of snow very quickly in areas of Tennessee, Kentucky, even Alabama, depending on where you are. But some model guidance is bullish on that, some isn't. Some show a pretty nice band of snow moving through areas like Atlanta as you get to the latter parts of the night, Sunday night over into Monday, and then moves through, and this turns into a pretty significant storm per the latest European, but mainly an interior event for the Atlanta, mid-Atlantic and the Northeast as it's moving on through here. We'll get a little closer in each area. I'm going to try to talk about each area here. Iowa, nice little snowfall event for y'all. It's not anything unusual for you guys to see snow up there for sure. You get into Missouri, you're getting into Saturday morning. Pretty much almost the entire state is seeing some kind of wintry precipitation, except far southern areas. But as the cold air continues to drop down, precipitation continues to drop down. Even areas in southern Missouri are starting to see snow. Maybe some snow starting to break out a little bit in southern Illinois, maybe southern Indiana. But you guys, this does not look like your storm. It really doesn't. We'll look at the southeast really quick, and we jump up and talk about the mid-Atlantic. As we're looking at this storm, it's coming through, it's dropping through Arkansas, the Ozarks area, especially the northern half of Arkansas. This is where y'all could get a brief burst of heavy snow for a few hours that could drop several inches. Model guidance has not really zoned in on this really much, but this would be overnight Saturday into Sunday morning. But you notice Tennessee is still a big question mark with the main brunt of the storm. Will a warm nose really keep areas of Tennessee warm? Will y'all be enough cold air for this mainly to be wintry weather? I can tell you, as we're moving into the Sunday morning time frame, though, for the CAD areas, it's still showing freezing rain breaking out over South Carolina. I will tell you, you compare this to the earlier model before this, it's not as robust. The ice isn't as far south. And let me tell you, the latest 06Z Euro is about to come out within an hour. So there will be some better information on this. And I'll give you an update in the comments of how that turns out very, very quickly. I'll tell you if it trended northwest or southeast. But I can tell you all model guidance is ticking northwest right now, but it could easily tick back southeast. It's a changing situation. And granted, we're still really 48 hours out before I really feel like we know what's going to happen. But as we're getting into Sunday afternoon, this is the area I'm watching that could dump some heavy snow in areas of the Mid-South very quickly. Where and who is a big question mark, but maybe Memphis, getting into Nashville. Maybe you folks who maybe didn't think y'all were going to get much. Atlanta turning into snow Sunday evening. Backside snow starts to move over areas that saw heavy ice in upstate South Carolina. So it could be a snow to ice back to snow event for some folks. And that creates havoc on the roads. It really does here. And then it moves on through. We look at the mid-Atlantic, and this is still looking like a big storm for you guys. But really Virginia, you guys in Southeast Virginia, Norfolk and things like that, Richmond, I really think that the only thing that y'all are going to get out of this maybe is some backside snow. But even Washington, D.C., this looks to be mainly rain, except right at the beginning where you start out as wintry weather. But this could change. It really could. New York City, man, y'all, unless you can get this system to really trend southeast, you guys look to just get a raging cold rainstorm. It's just a weird system. It really is. And the way it's digging, yeah, it's just very odd. You look at the Northeast. I want to talk about, you guys had some people talk about, you're going to talk about Maine here. Here's Maine. You guys, it's a weird system for y'all. Could start out with some heavier wintry precipitation, some snow, then the sleet, the freezing rain, then the rain, and then maybe some backside snow. This is not a favorable track for you guys in the Northeast. It really isn't. You look at snowfall totals. This is including sleet. I know this is hard to see on your screen, but I'll kind of break it down a little bit. But you see the swath, and you see that jackpot zone setting up near the quad state areas here in northwest Tennessee, and just where all these states meet right here. That's where that upper level low could drop a jackpot area of snow here. It really could here. And you look obviously out here in the Midwest, and swath of just nice heavy snow moving through Iowa, Missouri. This looks like a nice event for you guys. You get a closer look at the southeast. This is a lot of sleet right here on the southeast flank of this heavier accumulation. But I really think places like Asheville could certainly get, this is going to be an eastern slope favorable, more snow. This is a cold air damming event, which means normally the western slopes don't get as much snow. But the western slopes could switch to snow when this upper level low pulls through and brings more cold air. And the CAD really isn't the only thing providing cold air at that point. Very close to Atlanta. It's trended a little north. Charlotte, man, y'all are, I don't know what's, Charlotte's going to, in Greenville, Spartanburg, y'all are going to just get a mix of everything. I really think y'all are, but the jury's still out, even for those areas, if y'all are going to stay all frozen. But I really think y'all will. Mid-Atlantic, swath of heavy snow. These areas right in here, if you're in these areas of Virginia, West Virginia, Pennsylvania, y'all are going to get throttled with just a major winter storm. Same thing with the Northeast. Look at the major cities like Boston, New York City, Washington, D.C., Baltimore, Philadelphia. You need this thing. If you want snow, you need the low pressure to trend southeast. It's really that simple. It really is. It's not as simple as what goes into that, but it really is that simple as far as what you need to happen. EPS ensembles. This is not the operational run. Very stout signal here. And then there's that jackpot zone you watch out for that has over a half a foot mean right in this area in southwest Kentucky, northwest Tennessee. You watch this area right here for an upper level low that brings heavy snow. This is just per the European model. If y'all hear my kids in the background, we're morning people, so they're hooping and hollering out there. But ice, this is the biggest story, and I hate I'm 10 minutes in this video. I'm just now mentioning this as far as accumulation. This is big time ice showing up from the Euro. It did shift north. It shows the epicenter of the heaviest ice. This would be a crippling ice storm in the northern Midlands, central Midlands. Half an inch of ice showing up in areas like Columbia, for example, almost a half an inch in Charlotte. I really think the upstate of South Carolina, northern Midlands of South Carolina, will be the epicenter of an ice storm with this entire event. They'll get the most ice out of everybody. That's my thinking right now. I really think that. Let's go. Let's look at the GFS right here. This Scoot Energy scoots on through here, provides nice snow, very similar to the European. I really think this area right here, I'm probably going to stop talking about this area as much, because really down to Missouri, it's pretty much automatic. You are going to get snow. And really the dynamics in play and the atmospheric conditions at play, really, it's pretty much set in stone where the swath of snow pretty much is going to be for these areas. It's really this area down to the southeast, up to the mid-Atlantic and northeast. It's still a huge question mark. But the GFS moves through here. Here it is, that upper level low influence right here. There, I mean, you see this dark blues. That is heavy snow breaking out in these areas of Missouri, Arkansas, and Kentucky. That band continues to pivot through. The GFS is still north. It's still kind of amped. And in fact, it ticked more northwest, and I'll show you that more here in place here in a second with the GFS ensembles. But if the GFS was to happen, the only thing you'd get in Atlanta is some backside snow. Really, that's it. But this would still hit areas of upstate South Carolina pretty good, and this would be a significant winter storm for the whole western half of North Carolina regardless. Big time. This would be heavy snow for like Greenville, for Greensboro, Winston-Salem, switching to potentially ice, then back to heavy snow. Just major system. GFS still plows this inland. I-95 corridor stays rain. Interior like Pennsylvania, New York State, West Virginia, big hit from the GFS, really is. Snowfall totals, please cut these at least 60 or 70% in North Carolina. This is going to be a lot of sleet. You're not going to get a foot of snow in Charlotte. You're not. Watch this area right here, showing up on the GFS also, jackpot area. Same thing that the European is showing. I'm telling you guys, I know I've been dominantly talking about the Carolinas, and rightfully so, because someone could get some significant ice, but this upper level low could really drop some heavy snow in portions of Tennessee and Kentucky and the Quad States area, even right into here. Same areas that got devastated by the tornadoes. But, I mean, you see the pattern here. Really, there's nothing really changing from this to the European. Heavy snow moves up. Pretty solid hit for the interior areas. The bigger cities get kind of screwed here. They really do here. But it's not going to take much ticking southeast for this to change. GEFS ensembles, they're still good for areas of the Carolinas. They are still solid for people who want winter weather. This probably includes more so ice too. But the same areas, this is a big question mark area. You notice the GEFS, the ensembles for the GFS. Jesus, I can't talk. For these areas are basically not as confident at all. And that's because predicting where upper level low is going to drop heavy snow is an extremely hard thing in meteorology. It really is. It's impossible to know the dynamics of it. We basically saw 3 to 4 or 5 inches of snow here in central South Carolina from upper level low on November 1st in 2014, and it was phenomenal and extremely hard to predict. We look at the ice accumulations. These look kind of weird. GFS has been talking about this for a while, about how isolated it's going to be, but it does show a very narrow corridor, very high, very, very big. I'm getting pretty far in this video and obviously can't talk, but it shows a narrow corridor of extreme ice for these areas, including Charlotte, Greer, and then areas of the Sandhills in North Carolina. This would be significant ice for this area if the GFS was to happen. But I want to show you what probably the best thing to look at this range is obviously your National Weather Service locally. But this is what you call the National Weather Service blend of models. And it blends all the models. It's pretty much that cut and dry there. But, you know, it's still showing the heaviest ice in central South Carolina. It really is. Now, this has trended a little bit more further north, but this is showing a significant ice storm for South Carolina. It really is. And even areas outside of South Carolina. Snowfall, courtesy of that same model here. You'll see here, Asheville to Hickory, maybe anywhere from 6 to 12 inches of snow is possible. This is going to be a lot of sleet, but check out upstate South Carolina, northeast Georgia. You guys are seeing potentially several inches of ice and sleet and snow. I really think it's going to be a lot of sleet, guys. Remember, sleet does not pile up as much as snow. Let's look at the NAM. The NAM, this is the latest NAM. It's really in the range now for a lot of this storm. The NAM comes up, shows that heavy snow right in this area, but I'm going to talk about the ice really quick. The NAM stops right here. Notice Sunday morning, you have heavy ice. It's this purple sleet. The pink is freezing rain. This is a big-time mixed bag of winter precipitation moving into the Carolinas. This would be a significant ice storm, and it is a little warmer. You compare, for example, this run to this run, it's a little bit warmer, especially, I guess it doesn't show a trend there because it's too far out, but this would still paint a picture of an ugly, nasty winter storm with a lot of ice. It really would if this was to come true. So I will mention, let's talk about the GEFS ensembles, and we'll wrap this video up, and we'll talk about what's going on here and what's causing the trend back northwest. I'll stop it here Sunday morning. This is really when the storm starts to get amped up for areas of the Carolinas and Georgia. See this high pressure right here? This is what's funneling in. It's in a good position, a decent position. This is funneling in these colder temperatures southwest from the northeast. Sorry guys, I guess I'm just losing my my ability to speak here. But basically, this high pressure is what funnels the CAD, the cold air damming, cold air down here. Basically, you look at the run now, you look at the run previous to this. So this is the run overnight. Notice, watch what this does here. And in response to this, watch what this low pressure does. And I'll bump it up to the current run. Bang. So did you see that high pressure and what it did? I'll show it to you again if you didn't. Bang, 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 bang. Current run, pass run, current run, pass run, current run. So when this ticks north, basically in response, what happens here is you lose a little bit of enforced cold air. So in response, here's the previous run, here's the current run. See that freezing line at the surface right here? This is the GEFS ensembles too. Watch it tick north. That's because that high pressure ticks a little bit further north. So the cold air has a much further way to work in, therefore it's not as entrenched as much. So a little bit of a warming trend. If you're a winter weather fan, don't worry yet. But either way, it's going to just get a lights out ice storm. I really think you're going to lose power. So prepare for that. Figuring out what's going to be the epicenter of that ice storm, it's a huge question. But the ice storm really needs to be really drilled down about how one of the most significant parts of this storm it really does. But that's all I got. I'm out of breath. It's been a fun week, but it's been exhausting too. It really has, just keeping up with everything. It's almost been a mini full-time job, but I'm enjoying it, guys. Thank y'all for the amazing support, and God bless all y'all.